Today we face the monsters that are at our door. Today we are canceling the apocalypse!
Coming in at number 10, we have the Hound. The Hound is an interesting character because for all of his evil and killing ways, somehow deep down there was a man with an actual heart who would protect the person he was assigned to. Sure, it was always about money for him, but the man did his job and he did it well. As a child, his own brother burned his face, and it was just the beginning of it all for the Hound. He is everything that we love and hate about the Game of Thrones wrapped into one character. He went through trauma, became a monster, was reduced to an animal by powerful men, and yet in the end, he did his job and became someone that we actually liked. He saw the kingdom's bigger picture, never sought forgiveness or love for what he did, he just always got the job done. He believed that eventually everyone gets what's coming to them, including him.
We must beat them back or they're going to take this city. Your king's city.
Fuck the king's guard. Fuck the city. Fuck the king.
Coming in at number 9, Oberyn Martell. A man with only about 30 minutes of total screen time throughout the entire series, Oberyn made a statement in the few short scenes he was in throughout the show. His bloody duel with the mountain is one scene you will never forget, but there's more to the character than that. The story behind his character as a whole was absolutely wonderful. One fueled by revenge against the Lannisters and the man who murdered his sister and her children, a man who always wanted the attention on him. He was suave and often got his way. He was a character that shined brightly when he was on screen, and for me, burnt out way too quickly.
I'm going to hear you confess before you die. You raped my sister. You murdered her. You killed her children. Say it now and we can make this quick.
Coming in at number 8, Daenerys Targaryen. May the hate begin. Daenerys is one of the most compelling characters in Game of Thrones. She starts off as pretty much property being sold off and turns into a queen with power, turning her into a true player in the game for the Iron Throne. She is the mother of dragons and has true power running through her blood. The problem is that for a few seasons she has not done much since she arrived at Meereen. Sure, she freed some slaves and helped out a lot of people, but nothing that really gets her on the journey towards the Iron Throne. She has shown growth as a character throughout the seasons, but she has also shown ignorance. She has been too trusting of some, but completely rejecting of others. Her character at times comes off as very flip-floppy, but somehow you still root for her and want her to succeed. Let's hope that she gets back on track and gets to the Iron Throne before she meets her demise.
Go back, Katie! Osentas, menti osentas, kiloni pilos lyövälei tolvi osenetas, ininini o trikatas, urnei lyöi tolvei prisotas. Dracarys.
Number 7, Jon Snow. Oh, and the hate continues. Is Jon Snow a bit of a whiner? Yes. Is he a bit too moody for his own good at times? Yes. But when he needs to step up and be a badass, does he? Yes. Jon has had an interesting journey to get to where he is today. He is a bastard child which automatically gets no respect in Game of Thrones. Of all the Starks, he is the one that most resembles Ned to me. He believes in honor, ethics, and doing what is right for the kingdom. He has a heart of gold and cares about his family and friends more than anyone at the Wall. He has grown from a character that felt entitled in the Night's Watch to one that has earned the respect of most of his peers. Jon Snow is very much like Daenerys. They flip-flop so often that you don't know if you want to root for them, but somehow at the end, you always do.
Ed! You have the wall! If they try the madness again, drop fire on them! If the climbers get too high, drop the scythe on them! Come brothers now, fight with me!
Might as well enjoy our last night, right boys? Light the fuckers up!
Coming in at number 6, Cersei Lannister. So it's pretty easy to hate Cersei. She created the evil that is Joffrey. Be it through mental corruption, manipulation, or incest with her brother, she molded Joffrey the way he is. She might have lost control, but she molded him. For many seasons, Cersei controlled everything that happened in the Seven Kingdoms, partially responsible for the death of many Starks as well as have it out for her brother, fan favorite Tyrion. Cersei has deserved all the hate that she has received, and at the same time, we can't help but feel pity for her when she loses control of the things that she sets in motion. She is a complex character that has had so much stuff happen to her, be it good and bad, that you can't help but love her as a character. She would do anything to protect her children and her legacy and would kill or ruin anyone rather than give up her power.
Joffrey is dead. Marcella's been sold like livestock, and now you want to ship me off to Highgarden and steal my boy. My last boy. Marjorie will dig her claws in, you will dig your claws in, and you'll fight over him like beasts until you rip him apart. I will burn our house to the ground before I let that happen.
Coming in at number 5, Jaime Lannister. If you had to speak about which character has gotten the biggest 180 in Game of Thrones by its fans, that would be Jaime. A character we all hated for a few seasons has now become a fan favorite that we all root for. He has the most badass name in all of the kingdom, Kingslayer, and before his accident was considered the best in the world at what he does. Fight. Add in the fact that he truly does love Tyrion and his kids, and the fact that he was willing to help Brienne of Tarth when she needed help, the show turned Jaime into a compelling character, and in a family that has Cersei and Tywin, Jaime is the second best Lannister. Sure, he killed the king, has kids with his sister, and was willing to kill his own cousin to escape capture, but somehow he has redeemed himself and become a character we all like.
Come, Stark. I'd rather you die sword in hand.
If you threaten my lord again...
As in, I'm going to open your lord from balls to brains and see what Starks are made of.
You kill me. Your brother's a dead man.
You're right. Take him alive. Kill his men.
Coming in at number 4, Arya Stark. She may not be the funniest, scariest, or noblest character on the show, but she is the character with which we feel the most pain throughout the show. She is young, brave, and truly alone since the ending of season 1. A girl living in a world where women aren't respected or taken seriously, Arya has carved her way through a number of odds to come out on the other side. We have seen her grow from a sweet little child to a tragic character who has almost lost all respect for human life. The show has turned her into a veteran of war at a young age, willing to do what it takes to survive and get her revenge. She's cunning when she needs to be and also shows a lot of persistence. She is very much more like her father than her mother, and she wants it that way. She wants to be a soldier, and we all want her to get to that point. We want her to be that badass assassin that she wants to be.
You say he rides into battle on the back of a giant direwolf. They say he can turn into a wolf himself when he wants. They say he can't be killed.
Do you believe them?
No, my lord. Anyone can be killed.
Coming in at number 3, Joffrey. When it comes to TV villains, not many are hated more than Joffrey. Once the time came for him to meet his demise, the whole world rejoiced. Starting out as a young spoiled brat, he grew into a complete sociopath with too much power. You might have hated the little shit, but man was the character built and portrayed so beautifully. The fact that right now you are upset he is so high on my list because you hated him so much proves that he deserves to have a proper place on this list. Joffrey is pure evil and has done some of the most despicable things I have ever seen on TV. He's a very different kind of evil, the sadistic kind that you don't really understand. He's too much of a coward to fight his own real battles, but isn't afraid to tell people to fight them for him. He's essentially an asshole teen with too much power on his hands, and wants everybody to do what he says, and when you don't, you're dead.
I imagine he was even better received at that tavern.
I'm so sorry, Your Grace. We'll never sing it again. I swear.
Tell me, which do you favor? Your fingers or your tongue?
Your Grace?
Fingers or your tongue? If you got to keep one, which would it be? Oh, I could just cut your throat.
Coming in at number 2, Eddard Stark. Played by the best known actor of the entire cast, Sean Bean, Eddard was Game of Thrones for its first season. He was a great father, a great husband, and a great leader, and to this day he is still the most respected man in all of Game of Thrones. And considering the fact that he didn't make it past season 1, that's saying something. Everything that he was a part of when he was alive is what sets the major point of the show in motion. We have heard the stories of when he fought in battle with Robert Baratheon and how he was the true hero of it all. He was a man of duty and honor and believed in doing what was right for the kingdom no matter what it cost. His word was his bond until the day that he died.
Yes, the king has honored me with his offer.
I'm sure we'll have a tournament to celebrate your new title, if you accept. Would be good to have you in the field. The competition has become a bit stale.
I don't fight in tournaments.
No? Getting a little old for it?
I don't fight in tournaments. That's when I fight a man for real. I don't want to know what I can do.
Coming in at number 1, Tyrion Lannister. Often the smartest man in the room, Tyrion is one of the most beloved characters on the show. His journey from charming drunk to emotionally broken man has been one that we have enjoyed watching. Though he is a Lannister, he is not treated like one. Blamed for his mother's death on the day he was born, he is looked down as half a man because he is a dwarf. He was born into a family that tends to value power over kindness and friendship, yet he stays true to what he believes using a non-violent approach. He is the reason for the success that the Lannisters had at Blackwater. If it wasn't for him, the battle would have been lost, but yet he gets no acknowledgement of anything. He brings the comedy and honesty to the show like no one else, and steals every scene that he's in. He is truly one of the characters that if he dies, we riot.
I did not kill Joffrey, but I wish that I had. Watching your vicious bastard die gave me more relief than 1,000 lying whores. I wish I was the monster you think I am.
Visions of sitting high on my own gold throne, never listening criticism. I built my